Michael claims that a simple nicotine patch can dramatically increase your chances of becoming lucid inside a dream. But when he tried something even more powerful, he says he completely left his body, with no connection leading him home. He was pulled across the universe toward a golden light, entered what appeared to be a shrine to Christ, and watched the figure on the throne transform into a skeleton. Then, something inside the shrine spoke to him. "You're trapped." Was this only a dream? Or did he enter somewhere humans were never meant to go?
This is the Strange and Mysterious World podcast, in conjunction with Elucis TV. These are your hosts, Lee Stridham and William Collinson.
Welcome to Strange and Mysterious World, Season 6, Episode 4. Tonight is a returning guest in Michael Monk. He is the founder of the Avatar Energy Mastery Institute, which was founded in 2011. It deals with healing, clairvoyance, OBE travels, telekinesis, and mastery of mind and body. You can also join him on his online community at Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life. So yeah, we're going to be bringing him in again. See what he has to say. First up is On the Fringe, paranormal news for the week.
This is On the Fringe, your weekly paranormal news update from around the world with host Lee Stridham.
Welcome to On the Fringe, this week's update of paranormal news from around the world. Fort Bridges resident ghost returns to the spotlight. This is in Wyoming, USA. Fort Bridger, an 1800s military outpost in Wyoming, has been making headlines for launching new paranormal events centered on its most famous alleged ghost, known as Mac. According to staff and visitors, doors have reportedly opened and closed on their own. Motion alarms have allegedly activated in empty buildings. Visitors claim to have heard unexplained footsteps late at night. Some photographers say mysterious figures or anomalies have appeared in images taken around the fort. The legend says Mac was an employee who died in the fort in the late 19th century but never truly left. Employees have long shared stories of unusual activity, and the site has embraced its haunted reputation as part of its heritage tourism program. There is no scientific evidence confirming that reported experiences are paranormal. Like many famous haunted locations, the stories rely on eyewitness testimony, local tradition, and personal interpretation rather than verifiable proof. But it's also got to be understood that science doesn't know everything. Yes, back to the show. Mike, how's it?
Just cheated it. Hey, Michael.
Mike, your beard's got bigger, mine's gone.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Keeping
how's
it
that
down.
beard? Great, man. And also your hair. Was your hair that long when we last spoke to you? Was it been that?
Like that.
Okay. Jeez, I was about to say, like, wow, we haven't spoken. It seems like a month ago, but maybe it was a year ago.
How's the game, Mike?
Oh, really good, man. Blessed every day.
Okay, that's awesome.
Good, man.
So what's been going on in your life of the recent since we last spoke? How's things going?
Just communion meditations, getting to that next level, transcending my physical perception, and it's mind-blowingly beautiful and amazing.
Okay.
Jeez, Michael. But the last time what you've gone through your spiritual journey, like your awakenings from our last interview, it seemed like you'd already gone through everything. Like it's like when we're speaking to you now, I'm like thinking, geez, well, how further could you go? You know?
Oh, yeah. That's an astute observation. So there's accelerations of consciousness that can happen that I call them leapfrogs. And when you leapfrog, you reach a destination, but you didn't build a bridge. And so when that destination's really high, it'll always wear off, and then you find yourself back in your human. Because you leapfrogged there's no bridge for you to get back. So this is where the work comes in, is building the bridge. And that's what this past period of time and what my now is building a good solid bridge to where I leapfrog to so that it can belong to the human me.
Oh wow. It's almost like when you like take psychedelics, it kind of shows you like, wow, this is
Yeah,
what's
very
possible.
similar. Very
You
similar.
gotta
Yeah.
try and well, yeah, Michael, I wanted to have you back on. It's because like I've been doing your course,
Hmm.
right? But the first
yeah,
one, I mean, we've been doing your course, the first one, which is
the awakening.
bioluminosity, eh?
Oh, yeah, before that. Yeah.
Bioluminology, the
Yeah.
study of living light. Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's the first one in the whole series, right?
Yes. And then it
Yes.
goes on
Yeah.
to the other three.
Because
Yes,
like I
that's
must
right.
say, it is like extremely comprehensive. Like first, like it's not it, even though it's your first one, it's not like a beginner's course. I mean, I would say that that's an advanced course. I mean, because like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
reason, I mean,
and a bit of yeah, it's very hard for me to. I get this a lot from my coaches and everyone. Just Michael, too much, too quick. But I can't. I'm incapable of making it any simpler or smaller or shorter for some reason.
no, but that's what I like about it because
Okay.
it gets to the crux of things like very quickly,
Yeah.
and also they're very short lessons. Like, I mean, it's like 15 minutes, which is amazing because, like, I mean, I've done lots of other courses, and to get to your like what you're teaching in like a short period of time, it's like you got to go
Hmm.
through hours of lectures and like like
Right.
five hours of lectures to get to like your first lesson, of other like what do you call it,
Teachings and
spiritual
trainings. Mm.
adventures
Yes.
or whatever. So, and I mean, obviously that's very interesting, and it is great to have that kind of background. But what I like
Sure.
about yours is that it just gets straight to the point, and it's a quick 15-minute lesson, and I mean, it's very easy to understand, and everything you need to know is in that 15-minute lecture. You know what I mean? And it's great because then also with other lectures that I've gone through, I don't have to go fast forward through the whole hour thing to
Yeah.
get to the end to find the where they're talking about, so I can re-listen to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Cool. Thanks.
so
That's
that was
dear to my heart because I aim for that. To quote Einstein, if you can't explain something in simple terms, then you quite simply don't understand it enough. I've always wisdom can be complex and that's beautiful, but it should be able to be distilled into something that can be expressed very simply. And I've definitely mastered that with my energy mastery teachings, with my spiritual philosophy, the side that you haven't seen yet, the metaphysical church. I can't say that yet. My lectures are 1 to 1.5 hours in the metaphysical church because it's just so difficult to explain these things. But yes, with the energy mastery, I was able to keep it very simple.
yeah, but also as I say, like it is good to have that kind of backbone of probably what you go into that with your church there. But it is
Sure.
nice to just get straight into the crux of things. Um, and also all of that's in that first one, and I'm just thinking like, geez, well, if then what's in the other ones? Because there's like all the and those are the
Yeah.
advanced ones. I'm thinking like, geez, well, how further can you go with this stuff? I mean, it's quite. I mean,
Beautiful.
I'm excited to see what's next because
It's a
of what.
pyramid. I call it a pyramid of knowledge. What you're getting now is the foundation upon which all the advanced and mastery teachings are built. And at the top of the triangle is an infinity sign because once you have the pyramid, your mind can imagine any sort of complex wisdom and see how it fits to the pyramid. And if it fits, then that's why the capstone is an infinity sign because it's
Yeah.
infinite.
Okay, cool, man. So, like, I mean, the first exercise that you go through, which is like feeling your body, kind of.
Mhm.
I mean, just to put this into perspective for our listeners, is that, I mean, okay, so that's actually a very well-known kind of meditation or whatever you want to call it in many
Yeah,
traditions. So,
yeah,
like
especially
from
Eastern.
yeah, so like the 10-day meditation, the Vipassana course that you go on this
Hmm.
10-day retreats. It's made quite popular by I forgot his name is like Ginkgo something. He's meant to say that he's actually brought the proper tradition from Gautama the Buddha, and that was
Hmm.
the Gautama the Buddha's meditation. That he sat under the Bodhi tree for 40 days. That's the
Hmm.
meditation. And that's after he had tried everything in India to try and reach enlightenment, and he got fed up and he just said, that's it. I'm just sitting under this tree, this Bodhi tree for 40 days, 40 nights, and I'm doing this one thing, and that's it. And if I reach enlightenment, so be it. If I don't, so be it. If I do, that's amazing, whatever. So and that was his meditation, was that
Hmm.
exactly what you explained in the first
Okay.
lesson. And then also in Rosicrucianism, that it's also their main practice, their main meditation. I mean, they call it the
Okay.
overall exercise or the quickening of the subconscious. But you only get to that meditation like after 6 months of studying all the monographs and doing, they got a lot of other cool, interesting like stuff to go
Yes.
through. But
Yeah.
that one, and that's like their main. Obviously, there's a few other things that they add onto it, like certain breathing and stuff. But it is like the main um, the meditation that they use. And then also, also interesting is Whitley Strieber, the famous abductee.
Yes.
So he also, that's his choice of meditation, that he calls it the sensing exercise, which is it's perfect. Like that description is exactly right.
Hmm.
And I mean, he did that for 8 years, and I mean, obviously, he's the most renowned um, abductee. But I always think that's what opened his experience to
Okay.
actually having that experience of being abducted. Because, like, and then also, and what makes me think that is when I read Samantha, oh, geez, I forgot what her surname is, but we interviewed her on the podcast, and she has the most comprehensive book of astral travel that I've read. And she says that in Mongolia, when she was studying the Mongolians and their shamanism,
Hmm.
they said that when you get to a certain level of consciousness, like with through meditation, or whatever, and you start seeing aliens, entities that are like the grave, what we call the graves or whatever. They say that
Yeah.
that's a shamanic opening, like that's the
Yeah.
shamanic thing. So I feel that the Woodley Strieber, he through doing this meditation, that's what opened him up to those experiences. So yeah, but then I mean, that's just your first exercise. And then you go on to like the next one of where you feel with your hands. So it's like doing
Yes.
that meditation with feeling with your hands.
Right.
Sorry, guys,
Right.
I'm just going to speak like forever now because I'm just explaining like my experience of the course.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good.
listeners can get excited about what it's about. So,
Yeah.
but just stop me when you want to talk or whatever.
Yeah, I feel I have something to add to that worth sharing. So, the premise of this lesson and what the animation shows so well is that the energy flows where the attention goes. Wherever we put our conscious awareness, an orb, a sphere of spiritual energy expands and grows for as long as we can singularly hold a focus there. So, in the first one, you're just learning to see that your energy or energy accumulates wherever conscious awareness focuses itself. So you learn to do this with the mind only. And then another primary purpose of this lesson is to begin to get rid of the separations between the ideas of mind and body, that mind and body become one. So at first you're using just the human idea of mind to direct energy awareness through the body, but then we engage the hands because the mind and the body are one. The hands have taught our mind to be dexterous and agile and strong. So the hands are the mind, but they're in a new representation of that, which is even more compressed and focused. So next we start to use the hands to make that energy accumulation even greater, which trains the nerves the same way muscles receive training. The more you do this training, your electrical system upgrades to make you more sensitive and your motor channels to conduct more spiritual energy.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I
So,
also found,
but you
sorry,
know what?
before you carry on, well, sorry, man. I also
Yeah.
found it quite interesting in that you were mentioning uh, quite intently that you shouldn't be focusing on one side of the body. Like a lot of healers might have, for example, their right hand might be the hand. You try and get the guys to focus on both hands. So you shouldn't be focusing on either hand. You should be
Yes,
focusing almost like in the middle to keep the balance.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was actually quite interesting because a lot of times the
Yeah.
guys say, "No, you must concentrate here," then it goes to here, and then from here it goes to here. But I thought, no, that was actually very interesting where you
Yeah, it'll go
You're not
wherever you
focusing.
imagine that it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought that was actually
Yeah.
pretty cool. That was good. Yeah.
And then the two hands, right? Now that hands are mind, well, left brain, right brain. So the same way we have an inner eye awakening by balancing the hemispheres, by focusing equally on both hands, it causes an inner eye awakening in the hands. So when you get that perfectly distributed presence, you're equally aware of the left as the right. There's a magic that happens, an acceleration, and it's like a third eye opening in the hands.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and
So
also, well, just keep that thought quickly
yeah,
before we
it's
move on.
fine.
What I found as well is that with exactly as well, Will was saying, with each segment, there's certain chapters with certain like teaching sessions in each. You've actually got to break it down because you can't actually listen to the whole thing. You've got to listen to a section and then
Yeah,
train that, and then you got to listen to another section and train that, and listen to another section and train that, which I think is actually pretty
yeah,
cool. So, uh, but you've got to break it down. You can't listen to everything because there's so much information that you're sending through,
yeah,
especially in that bioluminescence, the first section, especially through there, and even in the
yeah.
second one, because I'm currently now, I'm at the end of the second one. Um, but there as well, you've got to actually break them down into small chunks, and you've got to go and practice that little section. So I
Right.
like it because the library is there for when you need
Yeah.
to go back and you need to carry on. It's not like you're going to miss out. It's not like, oh shit, I better hurry up and get this done because you're
Yeah.
going to miss it. So the library is there and you can access it when you need to. And I've found already with there's that one training that you did where you're looking through the fingers and you can actually start because I can see the aura around people. I can't see the
Okay.
color.
Okay.
I can't see color yet. I can only see the white.
Okay.
But the colors are because you said there was a part where you said hold your hands up and you can look between the fingers and it's almost like a negative, like a photograph. And you
Yeah.
see the negative there. I'm starting to see that, and the colors I can sometimes see a red and a green, but that's I don't know if that's just a
Okay.
hunch or if it's
No, no,
really.
no. That's all souls. They work with two colors. Usually, you can do more, but this is native because we're a bipedal being. We have two eyes, two hands, two hemispheres, two legs. So it naturally, we work naturally in twos. And so I find everyone has a projecting color and a grounding color. So you'll have a deep spectrum and a projecting color, and these can change, right? Like I started out green and purple. Green was my grounding, purple was my projecting when I realized through a series like purple's too high, Michael, like and your green is too nuclear, you're like too far gone on both. So I was encouraged to be like the earth, to be green and blue instead of green and purple. So these can shift, but you're seeing the dual nature of your soul in this color. It shifts, right? Like bup, 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 bup.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I always get confused. When prior to all of our podcasts and stuff that William and I have done, when you're hearing about people talking, I see your aura and I see you've got a yellow aura. I realize that's a lot of bullshit because
it
auras
is.
chop and change all the time, depending on your emotions,
They do.
depending on
Every beat of the heart, every
yeah, it
breath
keeps
you
changing.
take.
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah,
moving.
it
But
does.
also,
It does.
isn't it you project it as well? What because there's another thing in the Rosicrucian thing. They also teach you to train see an aura, but then they you do this exercise where you can change the color of the aura while you're looking at it, and it's like so.
That's
It
all the
teaches you that
time. Yeah.
it's actually to it's you it's either you projecting the color onto it or you
Right, right. That's
like
so cool that you, because I was about to say, and then you said it, that I found the hard way and the long way. I discovered that more often than not, when you see someone's aura, you're seeing your projection because everywhere you look, your soul is, your energy projects through your eyes. So it requires empathy, which is a skill. It's not something that you're born with to see somebody's true color emanation because more often than not you're seeing your projection. So with empathy, the skill of empathy is the ability to still your own vibrations, to go completely still. And it's an act of mastery to go completely still. So only the most skilled seers, like anybody can become clairvoyant, but only the master seers can really see what is. And I'm not a master seer. I'm far more of a projector. So my job is to project the best onto everybody, and I'm by no means a master seer, but I've learned to. I have friends, people close that are master seers because of their ability to do that, and they can help keep me guided straight and true.
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, just more about the practice now. So that first lesson about where you do the body scan exercise,
Hmm.
the it's funny because I did Vipassana for like two years. I was practicing Vipassana every morning, every evening. And then also when I got into Rosicrucianism and I got to that same exercise, then I was like, oh great, well I'm doing this already, so I'll just carry on doing it. So and then I practiced. So I've been doing it for like 4 years, and every time I would go to the 10-day Vipassana retreat, the lady or the man or whatever who is facilitating it, like the what do you call it, the teacher or whatever, facilitating the meditations, you have like private sessions like now and then to see, so they see where you're at or whatever, and she would say, are you feeling the vibrations? And I'm like, no, I'm not feeling the vibrations. We've been doing this for like 3 years. I'm not feeling any vibrations. And then I get like
Wow.
discouraged, and then we watch the discourse in the evenings where Ginkgo, sorry, whoever's listening to this, I'm murdering his name, but we would do like a whole hour, 2 hour discourse where he would go through what we're learning and Buddhism and whatever, and he would always say, if you're feeling the vibrations, that's great, but don't get attached to it. It's not like so. If let it come and go, and if you start getting attached to it, it's bad or whatever. But now this lady is telling me, this teacher's telling me, no, I must feel the vibrations. And I'm like, oh, Ginkgo is saying we mustn't like get worried about the vibrations, just do the exercise. And she's like, yeah, well, it is a measure to see that where you are.
Yes.
So I'd get very discouraged because I'm never feeling these vibrations. I've been for 4 years. But then I started doing this throat friction with the third eye vibration meditation by
Hmm.
Samuel Sagan or Segal.
Similar to your one that you do, similar to your meditation.
So I started doing that meditation and I started feeling the vibration in my throat and my third eye. But then it opened up everything. Like then when I do the Vipassana or the Rosicrucian thing, whatever you want to call it, I'm feeling those vibrations like head to toe. And
Awesome.
even when I sleep at nighttime, I like even wake up in the middle of the night just buzzing. Like or when I take a day nap, I'm like while I'm sleeping, I'm feeling the vibration, and even in the morning. But anyway, sorry, this long story. What I'm trying to get to is that
Hmm.
so now when I'm doing your meditation, I'm feeling those vibrations like intensely. Like it's actually such a wonderful. I know Ginkgo was saying that don't get attached to it because that's like not the purpose of meditation. It's actually like it's like going in the opposite direction. But I can't express enough how amazing it is because you actually feel
Yeah,
that you are something else other than your body. You are a
I agree
spiritual
with
being.
the
It's like
girl.
you're feeling like this.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So so anyway, so that brings me to the next practice of your thing of where you actually
Hmm.
you feel with your hands. It's almost like I don't know. I would like is are you kind of doing Reiki on yourself? Is that what it is? But
Yeah, pretty much.
anyway, I'm
That's
feeling
a
like I
valid way.
feel, but it was so incredible because the first time I've ever done like a because I've done many of these practices. I've even done a Reiki course for like a few weeks and I didn't feel anything. Like, I mean, everyone was seeing lights and feeling the magnetic thing and, heat and whatever. I was just like feeling, I was so frustrated, like, because I spent so much money on it. But now I'm doing
Yeah.
your course, like you say, you got to do it every day. And I'm actually feeling like I can feel the energy coming off my hands onto my body. I can feel my body like pushing my hand like away, like it's like a magnetic, like when you take two magnets and you turn them around and you put them
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that with the buzzing sensation, and it's just so
Yeah.
incredible to actually have that experience. I'm just like I'm feeling it is so incredible. So
That's
I
amazing,
was
brother. Do you
really
feel the
impressed.
space in between too, or are you feeling it at contact, hand and
That's the thing.
flesh?
I'm feeling the vibrations in the hand and on the flesh, and then in between that magnetic. So when I push down
Yeah.
on it, it's like my body's pushing my hand away. So there's like this
Yes.
tension kind of magnetic field that I'm feeling. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it's like I'm feeling the energy around my body, which is quite
Awesome.
incredible. I mean, I must say it's like
Yeah,
It's
yeah. And
amazing
then
to
remember
feel.
to become what you feel. That's a huge thing. People typically, when they feel this, they go, "Oh, wow, I can feel the energy running through me." Well, the next thing is, how about you are the energy? And you are the body too, and you are the energy, but the energy is a greater truth. So be the energy that's flowing through the lesser truth, which is your physical form, and that'll get you to an even next level of that. To be all everything that you feel in all of life, in all of spiritual evolution, feeling is always an invitation to beingness.
Oh, well said. So yeah, so that's then that also, I mean, that's your first lesson that with all of those lessons is just so like impact like so much in there. Like when even you go into basically out of body experiences with with lucid dreaming.
Yep.
But that's the one I'm like really having a hard time with because I mean I've been doing your exercise for like over I don't know since we last spoke for like probably
Okay.
2 months or something. And so I got it. Well, firstly I put a ringtone on my phone. So every hour, a beeping noise would go off for like a bell or whatever. But the thing is, the problem is I could never hear it because I'm either in an office with people and I don't it doesn't. Then I was putting my alarm on, but then the alarm's like getting distracting because like I'm in a meeting, the alarm's going off. We're busy shooting, now this alarm's going off. So I put the other beeping on, and then I'm not even hearing the beeping. So then I went and bought this app. It's called what is it? Oniri. Oniri, which is like it's a really cool app because you can like put your it like analyzes your dreams for you and you've got timers on it and it does everything that you said like in your
Okay.
so and then also at nighttime it also has a bell and at nighttime so you can like semi wake up.
Okay.
So
Great.
and then also it's so cool because it actually when you put all your dreams in it, like every morning when you wake up, you just dictate it. You push the button and you just talk into it. So you don't even have to type it or whatever. And then it also like separates all the symbols and the people in your dreams so you can get like it's so awesome because you can I can go into it and I can see like okay, I've like this main like water comes up for me a lot in my dreams. Like water, like that's like one of my main things. And then obviously skateboarding and like yeah, and then it shows like all your like certain emotions that are coming up a lot. So you can track like what's going on in your dreams, which is
Hmm.
amazing. But yeah, so in like a month or 2 months, I must just check on it. I've only had one vivid dream. That was
Okay.
that like the thing is that I knew that I was dreaming. Okay, so I was like, oh wow, this is a dream, but it wasn't like so vivid that it was like, whoa, this is a dream. This is so incredible. I could do whatever I want. It was just
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, this is a dream. But I was like, I was supposed to catch a plane, but I thought, let me just quickly go in this ocean here and just catch a few waves and surf some waves before I catch the plane. So I got in there, and then like I realized I was in a dream, and I was like, oh great, this is amazing. But because the water was so shallow, I was like, well, now I'm in the dream. I'll just make the water go higher, so then the waves will get bigger, and I can sit. But I couldn't make the water go higher. And I knew that I was in a dream. And I was like, but you're dreaming. You're supposed to be able to do anything. Just make the water higher. And it would not, didn't do anything. And then I was
Okay.
like, okay, well, bring more waves because I wasn't catching enough waves. And I knew I had to catch this plane. And I was like, fuck, running out of time. I just three more. And I'm like trying to like make the waves come, but I couldn't make the waves come. So I was just like wondering, like,
Okay.
what do you do then?
Well, after thousands of these out of body experiences, lucid dreams, I've never been able to do that. So I don't doubt that some people can, but I believe that they're not in a co-creative realm. They're just in their own space, and that's why they can just break all the rules and have it do whatever. I've never experienced that. All of my travels, they're always to realms that are co-creative in nature. So you're not the only one creating there. So these are far more meaningful to me. Like I've got even no desire to be in what I would call a masturbatory space. Like I'm not called to that. I'm called to co-creative experiences like real realms. People are very used to thinking, okay, dream, all me, reality shared. That's not how it works. The other side of the veil, which is where dreams are usually a rough translation of presence on the other side of the veil. And although you can be in your own independent dream space, I've never been there. It's just not my calling. Every place I go to is co-creative, and in co-creative, you can influence things, but it requires a very high level of presence, a very high level of mastery. So, yeah, I've sorted these out into three different primary realms. There's the realm you'll get to most common when you wake up inside of a dream is earth-based spirit planes. In the spirit world, you can levitate, but not very high. You can fly, but not very fast. You can do telekinesis, like with really light objects, but it's very hard to do much more than that unless you can really be present and work energy mastery. Then there's a layer that's above or beyond that I call the angelic or the solar realm, where you can fly at supersonic speeds, you can walk through walls, you can do telekinesis with automobiles. The ability and potential goes higher. You can also break Earth's gravity and go explore other worlds, which you can't do in the spirit body. And then there's one level past that I call universal. So it'll just take a lot more time and a lot more travels. It took like 50 to 100 of these for me to even have a rough idea what was happening. And then hundreds and thousands where I'm at now to have a good understanding of it. I could give you a cheat that will really help you progress if you're open to it.
Yes, of course. I'm trying my arse off here. I got to work every day, exhausted because like I've had 6 hours sleep because of 2 hours. I mean, like
Okay.
they're doing this meditation, trying to get into a lucid dream.
Yeah. Guayusa tea. That's Guayusa. Guayusa. You can get it on Amazon. At least you can here in the States. I'm sure you'll be able to get it there. It's a tea that comes from South America that a lot of people call the Lucid Dreaming Tea, and it's very effective. It provides a light stimulation, but not so much that it'll prevent you from sleeping. So having a little cup of guayusa tea before you go to bed will sharpen your sense. You'll be like 20% more aware. So your dreams will be like 20% more vivid, and your chances of going lucid will increase by 20%. Then there's the granddaddy of all cheats that I found, the absolute holy grail, which might surprise you, Nicotine-Patch.
What?
Nicotine-Patch. Yeah,
Explain the Nicotine-Patch.
research the nicotine is a salt, and salts are neuro enhancers. So nicotine is I forget the scientific name for that, something that causes neural connections. But the same part of the brain that nicotine, if you look up medically, what receptors does nicotine attach to, you'll see that it's a part of the brain that science is starting to understand is responsible for vivid dreams, lucid dreams, out of body experiences. So the nicotine is so powerful as a patch because it's just a slow trickle of a stimulant in your being. So the same thing I just described, the guayusa tea will do, the nicotine patch is like a 60, 70%, 70% more, like it's on a warning sign on many of the nicotine patches, may cause vivid, disturbing dreams. Most
Wow.
people's dreams are disturbing if they haven't done their inner work. It's nothing to
Okay.
do with the nicotine, but the nicotine
Yeah.
patch will make your dreams 60 to 80% more vivid, and
Wow.
your chances of being lucid 60 to 80% more, especially if you're a nicotine user during the daytime like I was. So this was hopeless for me before I donned the nicotine patch because I'm a daytime nicotine user. So at night I'm starved of nicotine. I've got no stimulant in me. But the moment I put that patch on, and by the way, this is tested through thousands of students to be universal, not just applying to me. But yeah, the nicotine patch is going to make like all the difference. And so if you're not a user of nicotine, then buy the 21 milligram patches because they're the best cost per value. And even though the box says do not cut these in half, that's total bullshit. They just want to make more money because the lesser milligram patches cost just as much as the full milligram. So to those who
Bastard.
are not users of nicotine, I would suggest cutting the 21 milligram patch in half and seeing if that does it for you. If not, just go the full on one. If you
Jesus, go
research
full on.
nicotine, like go on YouTube and say, doctor says nicotine is healthy. Like there's doctors coming forwards talking about the amazing benefits of nicotine to fight neuro diseases, like it prevents Alzheimer's, it helps refresh memory in seniors. They're starting to discover that it has all of these miraculous benefits and uses, and all of these nicotine doctors that are speaking for nicotine, they all agree that the patch is not addictive because it's not a habit. You know, you don't have a pouch in your mouth, you don't have a vape in your hand. It's not a habit. So I deem it to be completely safe, but everybody has to follow their own heart on this. I teach a three-part process to master this. The first part, well, what I learned the hard way, is that to have an out-of-body experience from meditation is damn near impossible. And after teaching thousands of students, maybe 1 in 1,000 can do it this way. You listen to the theta, you reduce the brain waves, the nervous system starts to paralyze, your astral body becomes present. The very moment your mind says, oh, I'm about to have an OBE, well, you're either going to get afraid or excited. The heartbeat irregulates, trance destroyed,
Yeah,
record scratch, come back to zero. And so what
yeah.
I learned is it's way better to have a lucid dream, to train the mind to wake up inside of the dream, which is an OBE. You just forgot how you got there because the spirit leaves the body every time you go to sleep. So by using the nicotine patch to increase the vividness of dreams and the chance of going lucid, you will go lucid. And the thing about being lucid or being out of your body is you always return. You don't have to worry about how am I going to get back to my body. Your body's like a magnet that has a beam attached to you wherever you go. You get too excited, you're back in your body. You lose focus, you're back in your body. So they're invariably, once you wake up in the dream, you will return to the body. And this is where the advanced course comes in, where I teach projection through the third eye. Once you end up back in your body, you don't flex a muscle, you don't open your eyes, you just push right back out. And because you're already in that state, you're comfortable for the same reason as it's easier to socialize after a few drinks. You're already deep in trance. You already were out of your body. Now you're back, so you can, with nonchalance, just project right back out. So at the advanced level, you'll start to have 5 to 10 out-of-body experiences every single night because all you have to do is wake up in one lucid dream. Then you return to the body, shoot back out. Return to the body, shoot back out. So you'll start to have 5 to 10 of these every night. And then at the mastery level, there's a lesson that teaches you to project from the full consciousness. So yes, nicotine could be viewed sort of like a crutch, but you're going to reach levels of mastery by using the nicotine that makes it irrelevant. So I deem it a tool, not a crutch.
Just a quick
Wow,
one on that,
jeez.
on the nicotine, the tobacco, especially that's from the tobacco plant. So the Native Americans, they used to use tobacco in their
Yes,
pipes and for all their holy ceremonies, and it was always viewed as a sacred herb, a
yes.
sacred plant. And it was only when the white oaks came along, and
When white men
we,
came
uh,
along.
we took the sacredness and we just like sort of distributed it as a
Right,
product, and it went from being sacred to actually being demeaned, and it just
right.
that's now what causes,
And then being demonized.
yeah, and it causes cancer because I mean so many people are smoking, and instead of taking it in the specific doses that it's supposed to be, because it helps. I mean, they
Yes.
used to do that with all the with all their like sweat lodges. You know, that's something that you
Hmm.
do because it brings on the visuals, it brings on the, you know what I mean? And when
Mm.
when you take it and you're starting to smoke the stuff daily, of course you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
But
It's sacred.
But do you think it's big nicotine, like trying to make it like you know how tobacco companies made tobacco I mean, even like doctors were like, yeah, when you're pregnant, you should smoke cigarettes because it calms your nerves and it's good for the baby. Remember, they made when they promoted tobacco back in the day, it was meant to be like a really good for you because it calmed your nerves and whatever. Because big
Yeah.
tobacco.
It
So
does,
I'm
but
worried
it's small amounts. Small amounts.
But what
And also,
I'm
tobacco, they put tar, and tar is what's the
Yeah, no,
cause
and
of
also you're smoking
Guitar,
it, it
yeah.
fucks up your lungs. But what I'm trying to say is that like you sure it's not big nicotine now going like, yeah, no, it's good for your brain. Take the nicotine. It helps you
no.
rewire your brain and it's good for Alzheimer's and stuff like that. Because now they've got their scientists that they're paying to like make these papers. That's what I'm just worried about when I hear because I was also
It's
hearing how good
possible, but
nicotine is, and I'm like, geez, well, I don't know.
yeah,
How do we trust it now when when they were selling it as a
right.
thing like how, everyone fell for that one. Like,
Well, this might help you. When COVID came out, Dr. Fauci comes forward and emergency style tells everyone that they need to quit smoking. And
okay,
so
well then
my
that's it.
woman,
I'm
she
definitely
went
going to
out and bought a
smoke now.
pack of, right?
Yeah,
She went out and bought a
I'm
pack of
starting
cigarettes the
smoking.
same day.
I'm starting to smoke tomorrow. If I just says don't smoke, I'm smoking tomorrow. So wow, that's amazing. So lead nicotine patches. I'm getting
I'm
some
gonna,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Yep,
I've made a notes. I've actually had a look. There is the tea in South Africa
Are
that
you
you can get,
serious? Wow.
the guayas tea.
yep,
It's actually high caffeine tea, so nicotine is
Wow.
also, but
But
okay.
that's
remember, Lee, when we interviewed Samantha that wrote that book, The Out of Body, I wish I could remember her surname. She said we must take this supplement this I don't know, it was like a medical like thing. I don't know what
yeah,
they
you
used
can
it
get
for.
it,
Medical.
but it's expensive though, man.
And then and she said that makes you have an out of body experience like immediately. And then you went to go look at it because you had a doctor friend and you were trying to get a prescription because you had to get a
Yeah,
prescription for it. And then your doctor
yeah,
friend was like, no, 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 no. What are you going to do with this stuff? This
yeah,
stuff's
yeah.
hectic.
They wouldn't give it. They wouldn't give it.
Oh, is that
But
the
I'm gonna try.
smoking cessation drug that they came out with?
No, it's a
Gosh, I
tablet.
don't know.
It was actually a tablet. You
Okay.
can get them. I'll try and remember the name, but it was like 500 rand. But you need a script. You can't just go
Well,
over the counter. You actually need a script from the doctor to issue it to you. And it's normally people that have got issues with like Alzheimer's, or there's like sort of some
okay.
sort of
Well, it sounds
brain
like this
issue.
nicotine patch then.
Yeah, so some sort of
Mhm.
brain issues. So they say, unless you've had a checkup or you've been to the doctor, and they won't prescribe it.
Yep.
So it was a
Okay.
bit
Oh,
difficult. Yeah.
Well, the nicotine was the holy grail for me and a lot and many students that. But if you there's even a holy grail even greater. But I recommend being patient with the nicotine and the guayusa first. But galantamine,
yes,
That's the one.
galantamine.
that's a
That's the
glutamine.
one.
That's a
Okay.
That's exactly it. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it.
Yeah. The
They
level
said
of
no.
OBE I had with galantamine scared me, and nothing scares me. So. Yeah, I recommend the nicotine, but the galantamine as a last resort. I survived the experience, so nothing in
the
spirit
cycle
can
of death.
really harm you. It was. I could share the story if you want, but
Yes,
might not
please.
encourage your audience to have
No, well, they got to
OBEs.
know what they're getting into. We don't want an audience going and getting a bunch of glamantinine,
Well,
Yeah.
you can't get it anyway.
Well, remember how I described that you don't have to worry about how you get back to your body because to use spiritual terms, you have a silver cord. You don't. You have the law of attraction, which will pull you back to your body. Staying out of your body is the hard part. Well, when I
Yeah.
did the galantamine, I had a full projection, like none of me in the body. I was out, all time barriers broken, no silver cord to the body, no attachment
Ooh.
whatsoever. Here I am in infinity and eternity, and I could whatever I wish. Well, this light appears to be summoning me from the outer edge of the universe, and it was a gold light, so I trusted it, and it started pulling me through the universe, and I surrendered. I went with it, and I ended up on the outer edge of the universe in these cold planes. They were all flat worlds, flat, no curvature, no love, just light. And I'm meeting people who had died on Earth, and they were astonished. How are you here if you're still alive? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. So eventually, with frustration, I'm like, "What the hell am I doing here, God?" And then I found this shrine. This shrine appeared. I'm walking, and I go inside the shrine, and it's a shrine erected in honor of Christ, or at least it seemed like it. So Christ was seated on a throne and had a crown, and there was like a baptismal, like a natural pool under Christ's feet. Above Christ's head was a sun medallion, and I'm like, oh, okay, God wants me to get right with Jesus because I've been thinking that I was God lately. So the message is, so yeah, humble me. I go and I get in the baptismal pool and I dunk my head underwater, and I'm like, letting Jesus know that I love him. And I come up out of the waters, and the king on the throne had turned into a skeleton, and the crown had turned into a jester's hat, and the sun medallion, this dragon head, just materializes out of it, and this huge serpentine dragon starts filling up this space and erected this glass dome around me and talks to me in this deep, husky voice, saying something like, "Big man, not so big anymore, stuck in my trap." And I'm like, oh shit. Spiritual warfare is normally my default. Like, I'll fight anything and not even care, and I always win. But this is with no silver cord. Like, my body's nowhere in sight. I'm not magnetically connected to it. So if this being were to best me, it could torture me for infinity, like no end, no beginning. So I'm like, screw this, I'm out of here. And I go to its glass cage, and luckily I'm an energy master. I wouldn't have been able to escape. I had to decrease my density so I could pass through the particles. Then after that, I'm like, how am I going to get back to Earth? I'm on the outer edge of the universe, and luckily, Heart always knows what it's doing. So Heart says, trust your feet. I put my feet in front of me, magnetize my feet. I'm like, I don't know how to get back to Earth, but I guarantee you my feet do. All of a sudden, my feet start flying me at light speed through the universe, and I can hear this dragon behind me, and it's summoning to itself. Other devils. One of them was named Baal. I didn't catch the other name, but I can feel this host behind me, like desperately trying to get to me. And finally, I made it to Earth, but Earth wasn't round, Earth wasn't flat. From this dimensional interpretation, Earth was a pillar of holy fire, like what Moses spoke to on the bush, and it was my home, my place of power. As I got closer to the pillar of fire, I'm like, why am I even running? Like, why not just turn around and slaughter these guys? But then, wisdom took over, Michael. No silver cord. If you screw up, like, so I'm like, all right. So I started penetrating the layers of density on Earth. I shot through like 5 layers, throwing smoke screens over me. And the moment I could feel my body, like 8 layers in, I boom, sat up on the bed like a person
Wow,
sitting
like
on
in
a
the movies.
thumbtack in second grade from a cruel joke, and that was that.
Yes, geez, that, I
Yes.
mean, that would, and then after that, did you like, was it hard for to you to have out of body experience? Because I mean, that would probably terrify. I mean, didn't you think you were dying when you saw the light and you're getting pulled to the light? Weren't you like, oh my God, I'm dead now?
Well, no, but because I was in my fullness, my error in that, looking back with the hindsight of 2020, is that I sought God externally. So I opened myself. I didn't trust that God was inside me. This was my human still stepping out of the chains that the Holy Bible shackles you with. Once you feel the Holy Spirit in the Bible, then you tend to think that the whole damn thing is true, and you try to make it work. So it's deeply ingrained in the human that the human only feels good, right, proper, and true when it's seeking God externally. And so it's my accumulated hindsight belief that seeking God externally leads to the devil. It leads to the opposite of that, because it's not the direction that we're supposed to look. Christ,
Yeah.
in my paradigm, is the part of God that lives on the inside, and this brings that loop on the Bible, where the Bible tells us that we can't know God without Christ. Well, Christ is on the inside, and I agree. All of my experiences show that you find God on the inside, and then it's safe to know God on the outside, but not before.
Oh,
Do you
Jesus even
believe in
said
it?
that.
Do you believe in that theory that the Well, I do actually. I must be honest. Hearing your story there, the light trap when you die, that the light actually brings you, uh, traps you to come into this light so that it can do the reincarnation story. It can do the whole thing over again. It keeps you kind of trapped in the
Yeah,
rocks.
that's loaded, and I would like to preface my answer to saying nobody can know for sure. With all of this stuff, I find that the biggest error people make is believing that they know for sure. Because the last time somebody transcended death, they didn't hang around to give a speech or write a book. So we have no way of empirically knowing how much of the brain is even required to have an out-of-body experience. Like, could we truly translate the out of body experience as space and time without the brain? I think so, but I can't claim to know that empirically. So I can only state what I know from energy mastery within the body. And this is the bifocal. We were talking about this before, that everywhere you look, there you are. Right. So to use bioluminology terms, everywhere you look with your bifocal vision forms an orb of light. And there's a level of clairvoyance where you can see a tunnel leading to that light. So the best research I can do, or the best I can claim without claiming to know for sure, is that when a person dies, this whole light at the end of the tunnel, it's their own projection to what comes next. They are that light at the end of the tunnel. What I like to warn against more than anything are beliefs that make you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, because trumping all of this, I believe, is the Sethian philosophy, Seth the Channel from the 60s, 70s. You create your reality. Beliefs create reality. I believe that that's a greater truth than any truth that we'll ever decode from reality, and that we always have to remind ourselves that the beliefs create reality. So please have good beliefs that make you feel safe and nurtured. So yeah, I believe that's what people are seeing, their next projection. And if you're back on Earth, it's because you should be. We're here. This body is the greatest treasure that I've encountered, and I've been all over the universe. The most powerful energy I've felt is merging my spirit with blood, bone, tissue, brain, eyes. Like this is the next level for our spirit. So I don't believe we're in a prison. I believe we're in a school. And I believe that we're right where we're supposed to be, and that the way out is through, by our own decree, that we committed to a reincarnational cycle. And I believe we're ancient, we're all old, and we all agree, yeah, we're sick of it, but why devalue all the other lives to leave prematurely without getting what it is that we wanted, which I believe is the human body, to own this body, not to be borrowing it, but to own it at a cellular, molecular level, which I believe we're close to.
Jeez.
Okay.
Wow, Michael, that's well said, man. So,
Thank you, brother.
Lee, have you got anything, Lee?
No, I'm just
You-
that
So,
story was like so cool. I was like,
I know, dude, it was so intense. I could just see you like flying through the universe with your feet pulling you, and you're like looking behind you, the dragon chasing you. It's like it's so comical, but it's terrifying. But it's like
It
something I
was. I was legitimately scared. I've never been afraid of death. I've always been afraid of life. But but I'm afraid of life because of how much suffering there. So eternal torture. Yes, I am legitimately afraid of
yeah,
that.
jeez. So, look, I mean, why I want so desperately to have a out of body experience or just lucid dreaming is because
Yeah,
I feel that I can solve a lot of my problems. Like I
you
can see,
can.
like okay, like I'm like, okay, this is what's stopping. Why is my documentation not getting solved? Like, what is the problem? Well, I could look at that and see exactly if there's a blockage, if it's me, if it's something else, or
Yeah,
why is my relationship with my daughter's mother so shit? Like I could zoom in, find out exactly what the problem is, and then fix it instead of just sitting here on the outside going, like, I don't know what the fuck it is, and just having to suffer all the time with it. But then I feel like, but then if you go into these, well, first, I want to know if that's possible. Like, can
yes,
you do that? And then
yeah,
second, is it cheating? Because like surely, because now you're saying it's a school. We're here as a school. Now you're going into the dream world, and you can solve your whole life. And then you're like, oh, I've done everything. Cool. Now what's next? Die.
Well, okay. So let me answer that in a way that I think you'll appreciate. So it seems to the human as though the spirit state is superior, which is why almost all past disciplines they discount the body and they add to the glory of the spirit, and they contemplate that the end goal is to get out of here, whereas I think the body is the great treasure. So when you're out of your body, there is no reality to govern your spirit. You're in the inside out. So yes, you can find solutions to all these problems because you are mind embodied when you're out. But that's its own mixed bag of nuts. So when you're in the body, you can get the answers to these problems because spirit is in the body. So I actually believe that you can get more answers from within the physical, but it will seem to you like you get better answers when you're out of the body. But don't worry, you're not going to ruin Christmas and birthday by knowing which presents you're going to get before you open them. Yeah,
No, but you're saying you can solve them. It's just it's better to
you
solve them
can,
in
but
your
you'll get more. This is hard to put into words. The solutions that you'll see by accessing spirit from within the body are going to be closer to the pure truth than what you get in spirit because you get your own mind, and that includes subconscious and unconscious made manifest into form. So yes, in a way it's more pure, but it's also more confusing because you don't have the body filtering out what's relevant to the timeline and what's not. So when you're out of the body, there is no timeline. So almost like your questions become irrelevant when you're out of the body because you're talking about your relationship with your baby's mother, right? That's a linear thing. And now you're out of your body, you're transcending the linear and asking for answers about the linear. You'll get answers, but will they actually be relevant to the timeline? That's another story. So when you're in the body and using spirit to access these, you have guaranteed relevance to the timeline, but less guaranteed is receiving the information because it's difficult to access spirit from within the body.
Well, I think I'm getting what you're saying because it's just so flippin' abstract. Like, I mean, all
Right.
of my dreams, it's so abstract. It's like, what are you trying to tell me? But like, I'll tell you, okay, so the practice that you're doing, what I'm doing with the lucid dreaming, as I said, I'm doing it for
Hmm.
like 2 months, so it's been taking quite a while. But the thing is, I have seen progress. Like my dreams are getting so long. Like
Awesome.
I'm so grateful that you said just record it on a recorder, like I'm recording
Yep.
on the app. Because if I had to get up and actually write down my dream, I'd be
Yep.
going for like 20 pages and I would be late for
Yep.
work because I'd be still like fucking
Yep.
writing this like a novel. So
Yep.
um that's happening, which is amazing. And then but secondly, 2 nights ago. So okay, well let me just tell you like in my everyday thing. So I got this job. I'm being asked to shoot a movie in Mauritius next year, which is quite a big film, and it's like I'm a bit like nervous. So every time I'm shooting like a big film, I get really nervous, like because my and I've done it like so many times, but the thing is, I get I doubt myself. You know, it's like I like for a big job, I'm like, yeah, am I really worthy? If can I really do this? But it's like, but you've done it so many times, like my insecurities come up. So anyway, so now I'm busy dreaming, right? Like 2 nights ago, and I'm dreaming. Okay, so then there's also a colleague of mine. His name's Dino. So I haven't spoken to Dino for like 5 years or 4 years, but I did. He did phone me like about a year ago, a very long time ago, and he gave me a job where I came in. I did a job for on his set as like a camera operator. He was oh no, sorry, I took over his. He was the DOP, and then he went away for a week, and I took over for him. Anyway, so I haven't spoken to this guy for like a year, right? So 2 nights ago, I'm dreaming, but I'm in Mauritius, and Dino is my boss, but like I'm in Mauritius, and I'm fucking up on the job, like I'm unprepared, like the equipment, I haven't ordered the right equipment. I'm doing this one shot, and I'm like, we should have actually been in with this thing, but we didn't hire it. It's my fault. And then Adino sees this, so now he's like the overseer, or I don't know what you call it, like, and so then he gets on a box and he starts telling the whole crew like, yeah, William's fucking up. He didn't get the right equipment, whatever. So it's kind of like this. very unpleasant dream. So I wake up in the morning, go about my day. At 12 o'clock at lunchtime, Dino phones me and he offers me a job. And he's like, dude,
Wow.
I've got this 2-day thing. I need your help or whatever. And I just thought it's so amazing that, like, okay, I mean, obviously it was like I was predicting the future or what precognition with Dino. Because like he phoned me.
Yeah.
I mean, like I haven't spoken to him for a year, but he in my dream he phones me the next day. But then also it brings in all of that malicious bullshit that I'm like my insecurities, and it puts it on there with Dino. So it's like this abstract,
It's a
like,
mix.
so
It's a
that's why
mix.
it's like so
Mm.
um
Yeah.
frustrating,
Mm.
because it's like, why are you being so abstract? Just get to the point. Like what I also, another interesting thing was I've been practicing the I Ching. So I've been like every morning, like I ask the I Ching questions and I like go to the little hexagrams and I try and analyze it. So last night I'm just dreaming about hexagram 40. I'm just dreaming about hexagram 40 over and over again. I can't stop dreaming about hexagram 40 and hexagram 30. And I'm just dreaming, and I'm like, geez, what the hell? And I'm just thinking, okay, well, obviously it's just um, me because I'm practicing the I Ching. So it's obviously just me just thinking about the I Ching. But then I thought, oh, let me go read number hexagram 40 and 30. And then I read hexagram 40, and it like tells me exactly like this problem that I'm having. It like answers it for me. And then hexagram 30 also answers like another problem that I've been having. And it's funny because it's like I didn't even know it was that problem. But while I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, this is what it's relating to, this problem I'm having. And the same with the
Okay.
others. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, well, is it like a spiritual being, or like that's trying to like it can't talk to me properly because everything's so abstract. So now it sees that I'm using the I Ching, and it's like trying to, it
Right.
forces me to look. It's the only way it can communicate with me now, because everything else is
Mm.
too abstract. I don't understand it. It's like, yes, this guy's so fucking retarded. Okay, let's just use the I Ching. He's doing the I Ching. Let's just tell him about this 40, or maybe it's my higher self or whatever.
It's your
Yeah.
subconscious, because your subconscious needs to communicate with you, but it's not going to communicate with you the way you think. You actually have to
Right.
decipher what it's trying to say to you.
Yeah, but I think I'm
Right.
not getting any of it. So it's like, oh no, you're so stupid. Let's just tell him hexagram 40. Maybe he'll get it now. And
Well,
I
if this
did.
makes you feel better, this part of yourself feels stupid for not being able to put things into plain letters. So you are the part of self that understands things in such a refined, honed way that it makes you feel stupid for not being able to understand the promptings of other layers of self that don't communicate in that way. So it's like the serpent and the tail, coming together, and this bridge will. The I Ching helps. It's like establishing a language that it can use that you
Mm.
can agree on, and the more you agree, some people use tarot, some people use these different things, but you're developing a language that it will be able to use, and you are the part of that self that communicates in black and white text and clear, concise ways.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the thing is, when I started reading the I Ching, I actually don't understand any hexagram. You read that thing and it's so abstract. It's almost like reading a dream. You're like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this thing talking about? Like, I get so frustrated. But that, when I read it this morning, it just made sense. I was like, oh, that's what it's telling me. It was quite amazing, actually. So anyway, so
Yeah.
my long story is trying to
Mhm.
get back to your lucid dream thing is working. It's just, I think obviously it's all
Yeah.
different for every
Nicotine
person.
patch, and I can't wait to hear the results.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
But then also, because I can't wait to try this, but then am I going to be tired the next day because I haven't slept properly?
Oh, no, 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 no. The more lucid activity, I know a lot of people pontificate. The reason that I'm tired in the morning is surely because of how active I am on the other side of the veil, and I can see where they get that. But the more lucid activity I have, the more I wake up refreshed and ready to go with abundant energy to face the day. Well,
Wow.
we wake up and we wake up all groggy because we pass through the veil, and it's like blackness or some disturbing dream to, hello, hi, next day in your life. But the more lucid time you have, you just shift back to the physical. You wake right up. There's no grogginess, there's no fog to penetrate, and you have memories of being in your eternal infinite spirit with all this power and potential and all this rest and recreation. You break time barriers. You can have like a 3-week cruise vacation to several different countries and meet amazing people, eat wonderful food, make love with your beautiful woman, and then get back to the next day in your life, and it's only been a few hours of time. So the more lucid time you have on the other side of the veil, at least for me and my students, equates to zest for life on this side of the veil.
Jeez, well, it sounds like
Quick
I'm
one,
gonna
quick
come
one,
back.
Michael. The nicotine patch.
Yep.
Is there any specific brand?
No, go generic. Yeah, just cost effective is what I would recommend. 21 milligrams, start with a half patch, unless you're already a nicotine user, in which case full
No,
patch.
no.
Well, and then
Okay.
you just put it on before you go to bed. You just like you're just
Yep,
about to sleep. You
yep,
just pop it on, and then
yep, and then
is it
take it off once you wake up.
okay?
Yeah,
Interesting.
We'll let you know how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah. I
I want to
can't
go
wait
to
to
the
get the
garage right
results,
now.
and maybe we'll do this again sometime after you guys go through more of the course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome,
man.
man.
It's
Been,
but
yeah,
it's just so amazing. All of your wisdom. It's like fascinating.
Thank
Already,
you, brother.
it's
I
awesome.
appreciate that. We might have to put a trip to South Africa on the books too, especially since you mentioned
Yeah.
Mauritius. Sean Pascal, my number one student, closest friend, he's now my teaching partner. He's from Mauritius, so he's
Oh,
got
wow.
family
Okay.
there, and he hasn't been back home in like 20 years. So yeah.
Wow. Well, dude, come over, man. I'll show you around.
All
You got a
right.
place to stay if you want to. If you need a room.
Okay. Heart says yes. So we'll let all the details. They'll grow like a tree in soil.
Nice,
okay.
dude. Amazing.
Cool. Yeah,
All
awesome.
right,
Well,
guys.
thank you. Thank you so much,
Michael,
Michael. Oh, it's
have,
such a pleasure,
Okay.
dude.
have a
Such a
good rest of
pleasure.
the day, man.
Thanks, man.
Enjoy.
You guys too. Love you
Namaste.
guys. Take care. God bless
Yeah,
You
you.
you
too.
too, man.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers,
Bye
man.
bye.
Cheers.
Hey, hey.
Cheers.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, that was so cool, man.
Yes, how's
Wow.
that dream of his? Fuck, dude.
I know, dude.
What a shit. There.
Jeez, and I wanted to ask him also about. Remember, he said like he went to this horrible time, like spiritual warfare. I wanted to get into that because, like, I mean, like, I don't want to go through something like that. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it seemed that it was hectic, and it was because he's on this journey. And it's always like, spiritual masters, when they reach a certain extent, they get attacked by like, I mean, if you
All
think
sorts
about
of
it,
stuff.
I'm not putting him up there with Jesus or whatever, but like Jesus is like got, Buddha was tempted by demons or whatever. So he obviously went through a similar experience, and I would love to hear about that, but we didn't get into it.
But also, I get a
But
bit
anyway,
confused as well because I hear like the guy that I try to get onto the podcast, the one that I've been listening to. Fuck, I must have started to lose names. I think I'm hanging around you too long.
well, you can't even remember any names.
Forgetting people's fucking names, man.
Oh,
But anyway, he was saying that because they talk about the heart and the mind, where you've actually got to bring it into unison. But he was talking about
yeah.
dreams, and he was talking about things that when people
Greg
see.
Baden.
Yes, Greg, that's right. Where he's talking about these beings that people see on the other side, and they get terrified, but it's actually their guide. So they have to get. They've got to look. They've got to look beyond the look, and they've got to understand that not everything looks
So there's
nice.
four like the head,
Gotta have
like this
no, but it was
the
like
beast
dude,
is
like,
standing there. He's like, why is he so scared of me?
yeah, people are, but they look scary, but they're not. So you were saying they're not actually, they're
But
not
this is like the
scary.
threshold.
Yeah, so I don't know because I say fuck, there's these terrifying monsters chasing them. Somebody else
Well,
says,
you should have brought that up. I wish you brought that
don't
up.
worry about that. I actually thought about it now. So the guys are saying, don't worry about it because it's actually your guide, and it's that not everybody looks pretty. You're gonna have some ones that look, but that's how they are, and that's who they are, and then you've got to look beyond that for the guiding.
But I mean, the people we've interviewed, like Samantha, and geez, I actually got to look at her name now because I've got 3 times. I mean, if she listens to this, she's going to be like, these are fucking idiots. But Samantha, and then we also interviewed that other guy that had the all those shamanic experiences.
Yeah, from Mongolia, he did all that Mongolian stuff.
Yes, I'm trying to find his name here so people can go and listen to it because that was an amazing. Kevin B. Turner. So Kevin B. Turner, because his book, The Secret Fire, Soul Evolution, and The Secret Fire was about alchemy and also Samantha. Where's Samantha? Samantha. Let me find a name here. Gosh, why don't we not even label it properly? Samantha Lee Treasure. Samantha Lee Treasure, with the book Author of Out of Body Experiences, the exploration and encounters with the astral, which is probably one of the most profound book I've ever read on astral travel, and I've read a lot of them. But they said that when you get to that stage and you see the scary creature, because a lot of the time it is there, especially Kevin when he was saying it, and every night he would see that entity in the doorway. And eventually they found out it's actually a threshold that you have to get through to actually it's like a test. And once you pass it, then you can carry on having the experiences, but you have to encounter this thing that brings fear, and you have to break through it. I mean, I've heard it a lot in a lot of the astral travel books, and Samantha and Kevin spoke about it. So, and then Greg Braden, you say, speaking about it, so that's maybe what it is. I wish we actually asked Michael about it.
We can ask him about it next time around. But it was very interesting. Enjoyed that podcast a lot.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool, guys. Bye.
Lekker, man. Yeah, thanks everybody. Again, like and subscribe as per usual. Yeah, then catch us next week for our next episode. Chat to you there. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Cheers,
Cheers, bud.